Hi, welcome to Florida Capital T. My name is Anna Marie, and tonight I'm sitting down with James Reilly. James Reilly, what are you running for?
I'm running for District 5 for Leon County School Board.
Awesome. So tell us a bit about yourself. Why did you feel like you needed to run for school board?
I love the question. It is a need. I don't necessarily know if I want to run for school board, but I definitely feel the need to run for school board. Really, that started about 4 years ago. I had gotten out of the hospital with coronavirus and pneumonia and was at home for 3 months, sitting there with my dog in my lap every day. And just really was scrolling, and my wife's worked for school board for 29 years. And she was, come home and we talk about her day because I could talk about mine. She would be frustrated with things, and we'd talk, and then I would just look things up and like, why do they do that? That doesn't make sense. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? And the more I kind of went, why do they do that? I'd start looking at things and digging more at the time. And I felt the need to run then. And I told some friends that I was going to. And I got back to work, and about a month later, they promoted me. So I went, oh, scratch that. I didn't feel I could dedicate the time to work and to doing this in a new position. So I decided not to run. But this time, I had talked about it briefly with my wife, went by one day, the supervisor of elections office, and went, let me find out what it takes. Because I didn't know. I'm new to this. I'm not a politician, just an everyday guy. And they said, fill this out. That's it. Well, yeah, for now. And then, this date, you got to decide this and this. Okay. Get petitions. Okay. And, the closer it got. And then I really started paying, I've always watched school board on TV.
Yeah.
Or online. But then I started going to the meetings, right? And it made my face there because I don't want to be saying, well, he never shows up to the meetings. And watching the whole thing versus, going to the bathroom or getting something to eat and skipping stuff. And it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. It's just eye-opening.
There's definitely a different experience being at the board meetings.
And being through a whole board meeting.
Yeah.
Some of the meets at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. And then watching it at home. There's definitely a difference.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people watch the school board meetings from home because they're so busy. We have busy lives. Someone, most everyone who's watching the school board meetings, most everyone that's watching the school board meetings, they have kids.
Right.
So they got to be home to get their kids into bed.
Right. Got to get dinner, got to do this, got to do that, sports events. Yep.
Yeah. So can you talk to us a little bit about your policies for the campaign and what kind of campaign platform you're running on?
I will, and I think some of this we'll probably go into later as well with some of the questions that you may have. That one is transparency, 2 is accountability, 3 is fiscal responsibility, and lastly, I think my last real thing was common sense. Now, there's a lot of other things that go along with that. One of the things which we'll probably talk about later too is that, just we talked about the meetings, stop having the meetings there. Let's have the meetings go around the school district. Okay. Let's do Riley one week. Maybe we go back the second week, go back to Aquilina Hill. Then we go to Childs. Then we go to Fort Brady.
Everybody could kind of get a chance to attend, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That way parents can show up. Teachers are there. Staff is there. They got real questions. They can ask them there.
Yeah.
And they don't have to drive across town, try to beat traffic or do anything else. You're there where they are. And that's how a public servant should be, right? We should be there for the people. So, things like that I also want to add to it. So, but those are the 4 core items that I'll be.
Yeah. So I guess one of the things that comes to mind is maybe it might be difficult to rotate with all the equipment to film and everything. If they, for whatever reason, can't do the rotation schedule, do you have a backup plan to still be able to get to talk to everybody?
I've said before, and I did a thing with the LCTA legislative team. I'm not sure what, a Zoom call, and I actually had some teachers reach out afterwards. I like what you said. Can I learn more? And one of those is 24. I'm available 24/7. Okay. Email me, call me. If I can't do the same thing I do at work. I've run mostly 24/7 businesses for a long time, so I'm used to it. If it's important, you call me. If it's not, you text me or email me, and I'll respond as soon as I can. Phone calls I try to get right away. If I can't, I'm on the phone, I'm doing something, I'll call you right back. But yeah, absolutely have an open door policy, not just for my own constituents, but for the whole county. You know, if you're at Fort Braden and there's an issue, and for whatever reason you can't get your board member on the phone or get a response, and by all means call me.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
So,
awesome.
yeah.
See, I like that too because I like the accessibility, right?
Yes.
Because there's so many times that we have questions or that we have concerns, and just knowing that you have somebody that is going to respond or someone that is reachable is
right. And I may not have the answer then, but you're going to be able to talk to somebody,
right?
And at least know somebody's on. My grandson likes to watch Paw Patrol, so Chase is on the case, so I'll be on the case. But
Riley's on the case.
Right, Riley's on the case.
There you go.
So
awesome. And then I've looked through your social media for your campaign information on your page, and I noticed that you speak about transparency, and you did just bring that up as well. What kind of initiatives do you plan to bring to the board to accomplish more of that transparency?
I don't know what initiatives per se, but I can give you an example. People keep asking me, tell me what transparency is. Transparency is not having a Kate Sullivan, what happened at Kate Sullivan, right? Yeah. Where a superintendent and a board know for a period of time what's going on and just put their heads in the sand like ostriches, hoping it'll go away.
Even the mom didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Or things like the alleged sunshine law violation we had with 2 board members showing up to a meeting and then having to pull it out of assistant superintendent on 3 tries before, and they never admitted to it and they never apologized for it. They just made excuses on why they were there. Yeah. They knew it was a violation. Rocky knew it was a violation because he tried to cover it up with a different attorney. So I mean, things like that are just completely unacceptable, especially for for not just our school board, for any public servant. They have sunshine law training. I've never been through it, but I understand it. I get the gist of it, and I know that they can't do that, and they should have known better.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I made a mistake. Yeah. I screwed up. It happens. We all make mistakes. Yeah. It's okay. Sometimes admit it. Instead of trying to cover it up or look the other way or pretend it didn't happen. But I'm pretty open book. I mean, I think things should be handled in the public when it's public money, when it's public tax dollars. We need to handle that publicly. I mean, obviously, legalities of it, we probably can't do everything, and I understand that part of it. I'm not saying that, but anything we can, we should.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And one of the things that that we follow a lot is the budget, right?
Right.
Right now, especially because there's all this talk about not having money, not having funding. It's every year. It is.
It's every year.
it's like a rerun.
Right.
But it's really important to us that we can actually have access to a comprehensive budget, and I feel like we're still not really seeing that. And so for me personally, the transparency comes in, even being transparent with the budget and the spending, and we've looked through some of the IDEA funding, we've looked through some of the title funding. Yeah. And I
appreciate you doing my homework for me.
Absolutely. And so, those budgets, to me, there are some issues in them, and I'm not seeing any kind of, at least in a public-facing view, any kind of remedy for those situations.
Right. Well, one of the things I think, and I really thought about this today, honestly, when you mentioned the thing in Amelia Island for Chamber of Commerce, someone responded to me, well, how do you know this? Well, you're right. Maybe I don't know this, but you know what we should be doing? We should be going through everybody's credit cards twice a year.
Yeah.
And see what they're spending the money on.
The P cards, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to account for my P card at work.
Well, and it is public records request, right? Right. So,
but why do we have to do a public record? Just put it out there for the people.
Yeah.
If you're being honest, just publish it. What's the problem with publishing? Unless you got something to hide, you should just publish that stuff. We shouldn't have to do PRs.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have. I mean, it should just be available.
Well, especially in today's age with all the electronics and being able to communicate.
Absolutely.
You don't have to publish a book.
Yeah, because someone has to be checking it.
Yeah.
So when they check it, just run it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so welcome to Florida Capital T. My name is Anna Marie. I'm sitting down with James Reilly. What are you running for?
I am running for Leona County School Board District 5.
And we're here at Honest Living Tea. We have some delicious tea, and we want to thank them again for opening up their space for us to be able to have these conversations. All right, so let's get back into it. How do you plan to work with other board members in order to accomplish your goals?
I am a team builder. That's what I've done my whole career. It's how I've been successful at what I do. Um, I build teams. I get along with people, or I wouldn't be successful, right? So I have no problem with getting along with the board members. But I'm not going to back down from a fight either. If things, I judge things on: is it moral? Is it ethical? Is it legal? Those are three things.
Yeah.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's ethical, and that's where we walk the line a lot right now with the Lamb County School Board.
Yeah. Yeah.
School system, excuse me.
One of the things that I've heard is that you can be legally correct and morally wrong.
Right.
So
absolutely.
I've heard that before. There's always going to be a loophole for legality, and that's something that always resonates with me. Is you can be legally right, but is it
the right thing to do?
Is it the right thing to do?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think as long as most of them I think have good intentions. I think either politics or relationships or future endeavors, hold them back sometimes. I have none of those things. I don't want to be a politician. I have no desire to be a politician forever. I have a desire to be a politician now, but it is what it is. So I have spade's a spade. That's as far as I see.
Yeah. So it's not really something that you're getting into. It's like,
right. And I won't be fighting with everybody because I'm not politically motivated like that. I mean, it's right versus wrong.
Right. So it's a very clear line.
Yeah.
Okay. So going into right versus wrong, with our next question kind of goes into that.
Okay.
School safety is an issue the district speaks about a lot and has invested a lot of funding. However, a lot of our neighbors that I've talked to, they have not felt that schools are still safe with all these investments.
Yep.
Can you pinpoint some of those safety concerns that the district has failed to address, and what would you do as a board member to address those safety concerns?
I can tell you the first thing with my talk with parents particularly is bullying.
Yeah.
Bullying is a big problem. It's not going away. It's not being handled. It's not just by students, it's teachers or principals on parents. There's bullying going on, and we know about it. And the policies we have in place, while might have been good intentions, are not working, I guess. Yeah. Now we have a blanket policy, which it shouldn't be a blanket policy either. Yeah. And I understand the need for it at the time. But it should be looked into again. So that's the first thing, is looking into policies for bullying, because a lot of that leads to other things, right? You're bullied. A lot of school shootings, that's what, when you go to the root cause, is because they were bullied.
Yeah, and even self-harm, right?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
We have students who are, who have self-harm, and some of that is
due to bullying.
Is due to bullying.
And we can't, and I know we can't do everything. We can't do online. That's not our jobs, right?
Yeah,
that's parenting.
Yeah.
But where we can, we should. So we need to relook at those policies and how we handle those, as well as I'm all for metal detectors in high schools.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, everybody had guns in their cars. I go out there, the Highway 20 boys had the rifles up there on the racks. We go look at, man, that's a cool rifle. And I carry my knife with me every day, and because it was a tool.
Yeah.
Now it's not the same mindset anymore, unfortunately. And so now, I think the easiest way in high schools, we should have metal detectors at every high school. Starting with that. The program at Gabi is good, but that's state funded.
Yeah.
So,
and
we're going to try that out.
And I do like the safety against weapons, right? Like, I definitely think that that's very, very important. And I think that you also pinpointed it with the bullying. I would even say too, like the Julie Lawson, right? So
that's what I mean. Yeah, bullying with parents. Yeah,
with parents
and with
teachers
staff.
And staff. Yeah. So I definitely sympathize with a lot of our community that has expressed this unsettledness about the safety of schools.
And that comes down to accountability again, right? It comes down to, we know these things are happening. Let's handle them instead of letting them fester and manifest themselves into something else.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And then our team cares deeply about our hardworking neighbors. Unfortunately, many that are working in the district continue to go without livable wages and feel as though they are not a priority to the district. How do you plan to refocus the district priorities back on our hardworking neighbors and the students that they care for?
So let's start with the students first. The purpose of the school board school system is to educate the student. So they're really I've been in hospitality my whole career. I relate that to a restaurant. Those are my customers. We have to take care of the teachers and the staff. Those are my staff, right? I take care of my staff to take care of my customers. So what I noticed is in each board meeting you hear, and I know Daryl's famous for it, but all of them use it now. Show me your checkbook, and I'll show you what you care about the most. I know you've heard it probably a million times.
Yep.
Obviously, it's not Leon County schools or staff, right? If that's what they really live by, if that's a true statement, we need to stop making it secondary. It needs to be a primary thing. There's other counties, Lee County being an example, where their teachers are making $68,000 a year. They have not raised taxes. They just made it a priority to pay their staff first. So that needs to be the first thing. They, excuse me, they need to be paid first. We need to look at the executive level positions that we have. We have too many. We have more than, I think, every other school system in the state. Eliminate those. Take that money, bring it back to the support staff and the teachers, right? The assistant principals, which we've already proven that. They've denied it, then they admitted it. It's not a coding issue, as they said before. It's not, they're deans in other places. It's follow the money. Money's money. The money doesn't lie. No matter what you code it at, we're spending too much there. And, with the decrease in students, we increase the executive level positions. That's where the common sense part comes in, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. So why are we continually doing that?
Yeah. And I like what you said too, just looking at the budget and prioritizing the people, right? Because, again, this is something that, my page feels very strongly about.
Oh, I do too, yeah.
Our hardworking neighbors, they make the schools run. We have these bus drivers that are interested with taking our kids to school. Some of them only make $21,000 a year.
Right.
That's the average, right? And then we have the teachers, the educators, who are in the classrooms all day with
the food service staff, the mechanics, the people, even at the district office, like my wife who's, works at the district office. She's not one of those executive positions. She's out there fighting for everything she can get too, as well as everybody else.
Right. But
she's been there 29 years.
And they help make the system run. Whether it's, a transportation driver, whether it's an office staff, whether it's an educator, all of these neighbors are what is actually making this school system run.
Right.
And I feel like, you just have an empty building if you don't have your staff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't even have a school at that point. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate prioritizing.
I do, and I think I'm going to add to that real quick is that there's been a lot of talk about millage. I do not support the millage increase. I have not from the very beginning. I think I've been very vocal. If people can look at my Facebook page, you can see why. I just don't trust the superintendent with the money. It has nothing to do with do our people deserve what they do. I don't trust it's going to be funded the way it should be. I originally said that we should have an advisory board, which lo and behold, all of a sudden now they want to have an advisory board with that money. You're welcome. But the money is there in the system to pay our people, to pay our teachers. We rely on the millage rate. The other thing you have to remember that it's only for 4 years. So when that 4 years is up and it doesn't get voted for again, now do we cut their pay? How do we pay the teachers then? Yeah. We still got to manage the budget, right? And that's when nobody's talking about that part. Nobody's talking about 4 years from now. What are we going to do? Well, which is how we got caught in COVID with COVID.
Right. I was going to mention that with the COVID dollars. They started paying for the for some of the positions through the COVID dollars, and I believe it's social workers. And then we just saw a whole bunch of social workers essentially get told you're not needed anymore.
Right.
And those dollars, when you look it up, it actually specifically states that these will not be recurring, so don't pay people with this money. This is meant to be something.
But it was election year.
Yeah.
We all know what it was. It was an election year. So we had to look good. But yeah, no, exactly. It's exactly the same thing. And we're looking at the same thing here is people, it's already going to be close on the ballot, I think. But the money's there. I don't, not that I support teachers, not that I don't support staff. I 100% behind you. I don't trust the administration.
Right. And I think that that's really concerning too, because the teachers might actually need this, right?
Oh, no, I understand it. Yeah.
They might actually need this millage increase. And whenever you have poor leadership in there, we kind of have a potential threat to getting the teachers what they need because we're not confident that the leadership that's in there is actually going to manage the money the way that it's supposed to be managed.
Right.
And again, this goes into your transparency too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And one of the things too that I would personally like to see is that it couldn't be used on executives. And I haven't seen them mention that yet.
Yeah, well, Daryl brought it up that it was a 90-10 split, which I was very surprised by. Um,
I did like that.
I did like that.
I just would like for it to exclude the
but
executive
they can't. The
positions.
board can't do it. As we found out in that meeting as well. That's up to Rocky and the unions to split that up. So we don't know what it will be. But I agree, it should not be used for anything else other than teachers and support staff.
I mean, really though, isn't the union just negotiating with the board? And
Excuse me.
I mean, could the board not specify that it can't go to executive salaries?
They could do that part of it, yes.
Yeah.
But I meant this the cut of it.
Okay, yeah.
Is up to
yes,
them.
yes.
Now they can set boundaries on it, yes.
Yeah,
my understanding is they absolutely can.
Right, and I would like to see the board step in and say
Yeah.
it shouldn't go to executive salaries.
They should.
Look at all of our executive salaries.
I expect that next Tuesday. And you're welcome again.
So, welcome to Florida Capital T. My name is Anna Marie. Thank you for joining us. I'm sitting down with James Reilly here.
We are running for Leon County School Board District 5.
All right, and we're here at Honest Living Tea. Thank you again, Honest Living, for allowing us your space. We're drinking the Forget-Me-Not tea.
It's good. It's delicious.
So
Second cup.
Hopefully we'll have good memories of the conversation today. So on social media, we saw that you've discussed accountability, and then we've actually had a lot of discussion of accountability here too. What does accountability look like to you, and how do you plan to accomplish more accountability within the perimeters of your role as school board member?
Now, keep in mind, I'm one member. It's 5 people. But part of that job would be calling things out. Really, that's what I consider accountability, is calling things out like this. We keep going back to Kate Sullivan thing, but this most recent thing that's happened that we can think of, this Kate Sullivan thing, is calling it out when it happens, right? What are we doing about this? Why is this an issue? Why do we have 8 assistant principals in 3 years at one school? And that no one's thought that was a red flag? I mean, that's a problem with that. I mean, honestly, that's just a leadership problem at that point. Or you have a compromised leadership. One of the two, maybe both. But that is definitely, where it needs to be called out. And that's what I mean by accountability, is calling out the things that need to be handled when it needs to be handled. And not just waiting till it becomes public and then, we're going to take care of this. I mean, we haven't handled yet the para who was involved in that Kate Sullivan thing, and she's still employed.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's employed. I couldn't tell you. I know you posted it. I know I've seen it on Facebook. I think the next day or a couple days after that, but
yeah,
I'm not sure where it is.
She's just at a different school. I'd have to look it up to quote it correctly.
Right.
I want to make sure that
But I know she's at a different, but she shouldn't be with the school board.
Yeah, I agree, and especially whenever you have kids in harm's way like that.
Especially ESE students, our most vulnerable students.
Nonverbal too.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's there's just no way that any of that's acceptable in any universe.
I agree. So. All right. So many of our neighbors are expressing feelings of being unheard. They are feeling disregarded and as if they are being brushed off by the district. What role does the board play in this feeling that these neighbors are feeling, and how do you plan to be different?
I think we talked about that. Accessibility, 24/7. I have no problems handling, I have no problems handling things. I have no problems taking calls, emails, preferably not calls, texts. But that is the other thing that I've heard a lot from people is, so we go back to students. Why are students leaving? Let's go back to root cause. That's one of the root causes. We're not being heard. No one's responding to us. We're having an issue. And no one's saying anything about it. We have a superintendent who wouldn't even reply to a board member's email. Do you think he's going to actually answer a parent's call? And that's a problem. I mean, if principals, like we had at Kate Sullivan, and they should be able to go to the superintendent and go, look, we're not getting anywhere with this. And then if not, to their board member, go, look, I'm not getting anywhere with this. Then where do you go? What? There's nowhere else for you to go at that point. I can understand the frustration, except to another school. Yeah. And we've created our own issues. We're going out and hiring agencies to recruit students, to recruit teachers, but we haven't fixed the root causes. So does it matter? I mean, I don't, in a restaurant, I don't go out and try to get more sales if I have a terrible staff or I'm understaffed, because people are going to come in there and get pissed off and then leave and then never come back again.
Right. Yeah.
Same thing. I got to fix the root causes. We got to fix the root causes at the school system level before we go out and try to get people either to come back or more people in. And I think that would clarify a little bit better. And what I like this format is I've done, some, not debates, but forums. But you only have 30 seconds to answer, right? Yeah. You can't elaborate. But that's, one of the forums I said I would not recommend Leon County schools because my children went to Florida High. But that's one of the reasons why is we don't care to, especially with right now, we don't care to find out the root causes. We just want to hope it goes away, and it just doesn't if we don't fix it.
And we're kind of seeing like this culture in Leon County schools that we're kind of like uncovering a little bit more of like the culture that's happening there.
Yes.
And we're seeing, teachers are leaving, teachers aren't staying. We can't even recruit teachers to come here now.
And it's more than money.
It is. It's a lot more than money. And the teachers that I have spoken to, they love the kids. They love the students. They love working in the classroom. They love being around the students. But when the culture just isn't a good environment, it's really hard for them to even want to be there. So even they aren't feeling heard.
You're right. And an example would be like when I did my campaign kickoff, I have a lot of teachers, a lot of principals, a lot of assistant principals that support me. They can't do it openly because they're worried about being retaliated against. Why are you going to be retaliated against? First of all, it's a school board. I'm not running for superintendent. But why would you be retaliated against anyway? But the mere fact that my wife thinks the same thing. My wife didn't want me to run. My wife's been there 29 years, and she's worried that she would be retaliated against because I ran against, I guess, the establishment. I don't know what you want to call it, but and bringing things to light. And that was a lot of the reasons she didn't want me to run. If you lose, what's going to happen? What's going to happen to me?
Right.
And teachers feel that way. Support staff. I know I've got people that work. I work at the airport. Other people work at the airport who happen to work for their own kind of schools as well. And they're not teachers. They work in other departments. I'm not going to say what. But they've got people there who've been retaliatory against other people just because they complain. They've tried to, file a complaint or whatever, and they end up getting shipped over here, shipped over there, further away from their house. And they've been here 10 years, and now you're going way over here.
Wow.
So it's a real issue that needs to be handled.
So there's actual stories behind those reassignments. When you're looking through board docs, we're seeing reassignments, but there's actually a story behind some of these reassignments as to why this teacher is moving. This
teacher's moving, this assistant principal's moving. This one gets demoted, this one gets promoted. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So as a board member, with the retaliation, what do you feel like you can do to kind of help curb that? I know that the superintendent kind of runs the schools, he runs the districts, but do you have any ideas for how that could be curbed?
The biggest thing I would say is bring it to light. Right? There's a lot of things that have happened, I guess, since I've decided to run that I don't think would have happened if I had. I can tell you the biggest one would be with the HR director. I was very vocal about that. I think that the way the votes went when I can't remember who it was, when she had the issue with him and the letter, and Rocky tried to downgrade it, and it went before the school board. I don't think it would have went the same way, honestly. I don't think the vote would have went the same if I hadn't been running. I think it would have been let's keep going with what we got. And I think that's what really turns the tide. And things like that, when you bring it to light or you know about it or people know you know about it, it matters. It really does.
It does.
It does. And, but the biggest thing about that is calling it out when it happens. Hey, what are we doing about this? Making it public because, everybody there works for the taxpayer. It's taxpayer money. The school board doesn't have money. It's your money. And
to know too that you're not suffering in silence. If you are in that position, you're not just going to work suffering in silence. Someone sees you, someone hears you, someone knows that that you're experiencing this and
Right.
you're saying something about it.
Yeah, and maybe I can't fix it. Maybe I can't fix it right now.
Yeah.
But it's out there. It's in
But
the
you
universe.
hear them, you see
Right.
them.
It's in the universe
Yeah.
now, and then someone else comes forward and says, "Yeah, I got the same problem." Well, now you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to talk about with our neighbors that we haven't covered already?
I think the biggest thing is that we need to remember I'm not a politician. I'm not polished. My opponent is very polished. He's very nice. He has great ideas. He's done, I guess he's done what he said. I don't know. He's done some great things. Way I liken it is to your car is sputtering down the road. I'm trying to replace your engine. He's trying to put wheels and he's trying to put rims and tints and new paint job on it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get the engine fixed, right? There's a lot of ideas that he has, and he's talking about he wants to finish doing this. That's great. We need to get back to basics right now. Mm-hmm. We've got a hemorrhaging school financially, right? They even they've admitted they're a year away from maybe the state taking over because they don't have the emergency funds. Mm-hmm. They won't tell you that. It was in the last meeting. Watch it. If you don't watch meetings, I'm telling you need to watch them. So we're a year away from possible state takeover for the school system, which won't be good for anybody. And all these other things that we've talked about today. We got possible new governor coming in. If it goes the way I think it'll go, which I'm pretty sure most people think it'll go, it won't be good for school systems. Yeah. They complain about charter schools now. It's going to get worse, and we need to have a proactive approach. We need to start acting now, and stop putting our heads in the sand, and be reactive. And that's what I'm going to bring to the table. Hey, and it's not Chicken Little, the sky is falling. It's not, but we need to get on track. Mm-hmm. We can't just let things keep going amok as it is right now.
Right.
So, if you have questions, you can go on the Supervisor Elections website. They have my email address, they have my phone number, my Facebook pages. My campaign page is Reilly for Leon County School Board, District 5. You can go to my personal one, that's fine, James Reilly. I have videos up if you want to see where I stand without talking to me. If you want to call me, if you want to message me, I'm wide open. I'll discuss with anybody.
Yeah.
We can have coffee. I had breakfast yesterday with somebody who.
Hey, you set this up quick with us, so yeah. I appreciate that.
So I appreciate the opportunity. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
You really do. And I know I can speak for, a lot of people pay attention. She goes on capital T. She goes on capital T. And it's a service because we don't have enough people. I don't know if you consider yourself media, but the media doesn't do enough here. They're kind of in the bag, if you will.
I mean, it's a team effort, right?
Right.
So I have a whole team of people, and
that's what I mean.
I'm very, very thankful for that. And
but all of you do a great job. It's
you.
A great service you do for everybody, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Was there any questions? Nope. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time.